Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's cast of the SpyParty Summer Cup 2019. I'm joined tonight by my co-caster Shep,
Hello, everyone.
and tonight we are going to be covering three matches. First up, we're going to have Group M, Sergio versus Monaters, and then we'll be jumping ahead to Group I with Ogilby versus Ibutra, and finally ending with Group P, Turnout 8 versus Mr. High.
Yeah, some of these matches tonight are going to be pretty interesting. We have a couple veteran players versus a couple newbie players.
Yeah, in fact, I guess there's maybe not symmetry here, but our first match is between two players who are well, Menators is a veteran, Sergio's been around for at least a little while, and then the second match is going to be two newbies, which is really exciting for us, and then the final match is one super veteran, I think been around since season one versus another newbie. And so that first group, the Dr. M group, this is a pretty strong group. It's not one of the ones that people identified as a group of death, but all four people in this group are pretty competent players, aren't they?
Yeah, the big standout in Group M is Yeesh. His name alone could constitute a group of death, and then you have some pretty solid players in Cody and Manatters and Sergio. Um, I, I'm not sure what the prediction said on Sergio, but
Yeah, Sergio's definitely not a weak player by any means. Definitely in the prediction chart, I mean, everyone predicted Yeesh would get first. I think it was one of the only unanimous ones in the entire predictions. All 35 people who voted thought Yeesh would get first. And then for the others, it's just a little more split. Cody definitely favored for second place, but there are people who think Manatters has a chance as well, myself included. I mean, you have to realize that there's also just a little bit of perception here. Cody won Iron Division and placed third in the TOP, advancing to silver. Manatters was in Oak and made, I believe, fourth place. And so, at a glance, you'd say, "Oh, I guess Cody's the stronger player." But speaking as someone who was in Oak and had to play against Manatters, that's not really the truth in my opinion. Manatters is very strong and just took some tough losses in the SCL, but I think is definitely a shot at second. And I think it's the same for Sergio. I mean, he was in Obsidian. He had to drop out partway through the season, but definitely a worthy competitor.
yeah, Oak and Obsidian, both divisions, were known to have some very strong players who probably didn't belong there. But so it's no shame not to be high in those leagues. But
Yeah. So the match format for the Summer Cup, we're going to see 8 games played, 2 on each of these venues. The winner is going to be the first to 5. But if someone does reach 5, we will see out the rest of the set because the number of wins you get can affect tiebreakers in the future. And so we will jump right into the first game on Ballroom. Manatters are first spy playing as Smallman right off the bat, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And I don't think this is a random pick. This is something Manatters likes to do. Well, he likes to do it on Gallery, but I'm not surprised that he's doing it here. And the thing is, in these sets, you only play 2 games on each venue, so I think, you have more of an opportunity to just go for Smallman because they're not really going to be certain if that's something you would do?
yeah, in these sets, every game counts. A Smallman cheat could be the win that you need to secure a victory in these
And
games.
wow, look at this start from Manatters, immediately getting the fingerprint and then taking a wrong arm bug as he's passing by the ambassador. I don't think that
Yeah.
arm would have been particularly visible, so I think that bug went really well. Contact coming off as well, and look how full these conversations are. Sergio sort of took one low light over on Orange Sorry on the right. Maybe, oh, never mind. Manatters is apparently a huge suspect for the fingerprint. Sorry, that game was a whirlwind. There's just Manatters never let up, and I thought he was doing pretty well, but he got shot as soon as he got that second fingerprint. Do you think it was the bug scene or just a fingerprint count?
I think that it was a suspected bug, and he was keeping track of the fingerprints. That was a very fast rush game. It's a very good shot by Sergio to see that happening.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's what I love to see at the start of a set. I'm looking at the bug, and the arm isn't really super visible, so good job to Sergio. I think Sergio was zoomed in watching it, and so suspected that it could have happened, even if he couldn't be 100% certain. And then just takes a shot for a second
Banana
fingerprint. I
bread.
guess it just added up. The person who already had one fingerprint could have done a bug and gets a second fingerprint. I guess you have to shoot.
Yeah, banana bread coming off. It's almost 4 missions right there.
Strong start for Sergio. Sergio going to be spying now as general, starting in three, two, one, playing it. And yeah, we've been seeing a lot of aggressive spy play in the Summer Cup so far. That was a missed pad over at the window, but not a problem. And again, same aggressive spy play. I mean, it's only a flirt, but it's really nice to just start with the 51% there. And also, oh, I was going to say entering with the double agent, but this is the suspected double agent. So now we're just in a conversation with not much going on at all.
Yeah, this is your typical opener. 51% flirt gives you some good leeway for your options. It'll be interesting to see what Sergio decides to do here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got to be feeling pretty good after that first sniper win. I mean, Monaters definitely put him to the test there, and if Monaters was feeling, confident at all, thinking, oh, I can get away with this stuff, he was immediately proven wrong. So not just in score, but also psychologically, I think Sergio has a slight advantage here. Monaters probably wasn't expecting to get shot so easily. And Sergio going in for the center inspect now, picking up a highlight. It is mission progress. We're going to enter next to the seduction target again as well and be able to get another flirt, but that is just soft tells so far.
Yeah, interesting choice to if you knew Monators highlights for statues to get that highlight early before you've done a hard tell. But
And
oh,
yeah, that's a purloin, and we also broke the animation of taking the drink as we walked away. Makes it super noticeable, and Monators notices it and takes the shot.
yeah, it was a bit. The animation break probably drew the attention over to so Monators saw the purloin.
Yeah, I guess you start walking away early like that if you think you might hit a green test, and I guess the walkaway was late enough that it didn't cause a crash, but still very visible, and Monators just sees the list is gone right away, takes the shot. And that's two aggressive spies on ballroom taken out by two snipers who were just super on top of it. Monators spying as Bling Twin now on courtyard, starting in three, two, one, playing it. Well, there's the ambassador we're starting near, but we're not able to go for a bug, and we're just going to see the standard start again, going in for the flirt here with the seduction target. I wonder if we're going to see the same sort of spy play on Courtyard, because on Courtyard you kind of have two options. You can do a slow play near the end, or you can just go for a mission. That's the same exact play. Is there some sort of glitch on my screen, or are they just always canceling their animations as they take the drinks this set?
Yeah, they seem to want to go hard, be aggressive, get those hard tells fast. At least Monators, he seems to be rushing every game. That's his game plan coming into this.
Yeah, well, there's a highlight on Monators now, but do you think that highlight is for the Purloin, or was it just for going to the statues?
We don't know. That could just be a statue highlight. It's hard to tell what Sergio suspects right now.
I mean, to me, it doesn't look like Sergio had a super strong reaction to that Purloin. I'm not sure that he's confident who did it. I think Monators seems to be in a good spot right now. What do you think about having both twins highlight? Are you someone who likes to differentiate them with highlights?
I usually don't differentiate them, but I have fallen victim to having them both highlight before and shooting the wrong one. So I think it's a good idea to do that.
Yeah, and they
Banana
both have
bread.
drinks. And there's the mission wing countdown. This is sort of when you have to take a shot if there's been a purloin. You have to assume the spy is someone who went to statues and is done right now. But Sergio doesn't take a shot, has no idea who did that purloin, and Monaters gets the first spy win of the evening.
Yeah, when you're down a purloin, you just have to look for statue goers who have a banana bread and try to take a shot when you're behind like that.
Yeah, I think that's
It,
sort of
it,
a running theme that we've been seeing all week. Spies getting away with purloins and snipers just having to decide if they take a shot or not.
it could be a frame attempt, but at the end of the day, Monaters was rushing the last mission. You'd expect him to do this a similar thing here.
And so Sergio's going to need to come back with a spy win of his own, playing as Ponytail, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And I mean, if this set continues the way we've seen, and we do have Sergio in chat confirming that it might continue that way, we're just going to be seeing more aggressive spy plays, more hard tells. But Sergio starting this one off with an inspect visit to statues and getting only one inspect. Now, there wasn't someone at the statue next to us, so why do you think we did only one?
It could be maybe he only wanted the one cycle. Sometimes that can be a little less suspicious if a sniper tracks cycles and.
Ooh, wrong arm bug, passing by the ambassador as we left that conversation, but Monaters was on top of it, didn't wait too long to go for the shot, but just made sure he didn't accidentally line up a civilian in his crosshairs. And there it is. Monaters is now up 3-1.
Yeah, safety came off immediately. The bug was just seen.
It was. Look, you can see the arm sticking out. Sergio was really hoping that the arm would only come out, I guess, sort of while he was behind the ambassador, but it just started way too early, and Monaters had the right angle for it. And that's exactly what Monaters wanted, going into library now with a 3-1 lead. And with the way these shorter sets work, if you break serve once and go up by 2, it's going to be really hard for the other person to come back. Because remember, as soon as you reach 4 points, it's either a tie or a win for you. So if Sergio wants to win the set, he needs to win 4 in a row now. Starting with Monaters spying on library in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I think Sergio probably a little upset that those games went really fast and got away from him, but he's gonna have to focus and see what happens here.
Yeah, these games are going really fast. I can't believe we're already on library, and that's that's the second time tonight that we've seen the landing pad fail while trying to get the early flirt. Monaters went to a window pad there for a moment and then just turned around and went right back to this conversation. Not standing right next to Duke though. Definitely suspicious activity from Kane if you're watching him, but it's not likely that Sergio was seeing any of that.
Yeah, library is one of those maps where you have a lot of time. There's a lot of places to add time, but it seems like he wants to get this flirt in and get that progress going, keep good pace.
Yeah, Ponoob in chat saying that when Sergio and Monaters were playing this set, there was another set of 2 players playing their own set. And then this set started while another set was already in library, and yet they both finished high rise at the same time together because of how fast these guys are going. There's another white purloin and another shot. We're just seeing the same thing over and over this set, huh?
I guess these guys are trying to speed run Summer Cup.
I mean,
yeah, good shot
yeah.
by Sergio to notice that purloin, know that he's going to be aggressive, and to watch for those hard tells.
Yeah, I mean, it works for us. We got 3 sets to cast tonight. We got tons of sets of Summer Cup, and the faster you do them, the more we can cover. So go ahead, purloin in the first 30 seconds. It makes everyone's lives easier. And so Sergio going to be spying now, trying to bring that back up to a tie as Bling Twins, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. But here's the thing. That's 5 games in a row now where spies have tried to do early hard tells and with one exception have not succeeded. So do you think at any point these players are going to maybe turn things around, try a different strategy, maybe go for a slow game, get some fingerprints, finish, with 20 seconds left on the clock? Or do you think we're just going to keep seeing the same thing?
I certainly would change my play style up and be a little slower here, knowing that they're catching every hard tell, try to get more planned hard tells that are harder to see. But, there's something to be said for the mind games and the Yomi, trying to continue on with the aggressive play.
Yeah, there's a banana bread from Sergio. Conversations are looking pretty full, and Monaters really doesn't want to take his eyes off the ambassador or the list, just takes the few lowlights that he knows he can get. but mostly seems to try to stay calm in the aftermath of this and make sure the spy doesn't try any shenanigans, which I think is a good move because Sergio has shown that all he's doing as spy is shenanigans.
Yeah, it looks like this game's starting off a little more normal, a little more paced and slow. But this could be a good thing. You don't immediately get shot.
Yeah, and I mean, we also talk a lot about the psychological aspect of it. If the sniper has to go through a 4 minute, or it's 4.5 minutes now, I guess, 4.5 minute library game, there's just a lot of paranoia, a lot of doubt having to keep track of 21 different guests. And so you want to put the sniper through that. You don't ever want to give them a reprieve by just doing a hardtail in the first 30 seconds and not having to put them under any sort of mental duress.
Yeah, and especially with you have Smallman in here is already highlight. Just give that sniper the doubt. Make them think, oh, could they be rushing? Could they be bugging? Just get their attention divided as much as you can, and you've already got a transfer microfilm in your pocket from Yellow Bookcase.
Yep, fingerprint as well. We're entering here right next to the double agent. I like this because it's a very not flirty position. It's just a slight behavioral mind game because you think, why would the spy just enter so close to the double agent when they don't need to? Now Sergio is going to be going in for the second fingerprint. And I mean, this is the first time I'll set that Monaters has really been tested in this way because he's been given that reprieve of hardtails, but now we need to see if he has the correct fingerprint on Sergio. Sergio tries to go for the purloin after putting the briefcase down. It doesn't hit the green test, walks away, crashes, and gets shot.
Oh no, that's one of those times when you're just really hoping to hit the green test because you're in the middle of nowhere with when you requested Toby or he came to you, and when as soon as you don't hit that green test, you just want to get out of there, and it's really the crash just gives you away.
I mean, the allure of that purloin is just undeniable because if you do hit a green test there, the sniper is almost never, ever going to be onto it. So it really is worth trying. Sergio in chat, though, saying, didn't mean to purloin there at all, just drink, grab, cancel. The crash even jump scared me. Well, that's what you get when you try to take risky, risky plays like that with the thing in the game that causes a large crash sound and alerts the sniper who you are.
Yeah, that's a shame. It looked like Sergio was on the roll to actually take that game. He had tons of progress, tons of time. It's just bad micro, I guess.
Yeah, too bad. Very unfortunate. And with that, Monaters is now up to 4-2, which means the worst that can happen for Monaters is a tie. But he does need to get one more point on High Rise in order to secure the win. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And I think High Rise is definitely one of Monaters' preferred venues. He's done pretty well on it throughout the SCL season. Something that Monaters does on High Rise, he says he uses the same 10 characters every time. So he makes sure to include someone like General, who has a good bug, Smallman, of course, Orange Sari, and Pearls, who also have good slow bugs on this venue, Kane as well. He doesn't choose who is the cast, though, apparently, because Kane is the double agent, so cannot be the spy. But Monaters definitely likes this venue, probably happy to be closing out on it.
Yeah, there's something to be said for all of these characters. Fake banana bread, it looks like.
That's an interesting move. There were a lot of people in conversation, and I'm wondering, did Sergio get all of the lowlights available? General was sort of doing something with the briefcase. Orange Sari was leaving.
It could have looked like General did one of those banana breads into a briefcase pickup, but it was hard to tell for the sniper there.
And now we just immediately entered this conversation, going for another banana bread. We are talking during it, so if Monaters was being watched, it would be pretty obvious. But I think when that first banana bread has already gone off, you don't really expect a second one, so you're not noticing that Pearls entered a conversation and started talking immediately before it. The party is narrowed down, though, now to only 4 guests, and Monaters doesn't really have much progress. What do you think his plan might be from here?
High rise, a timeout is almost always a plan. You can try to frame somebody with a good banana bread, but with this many people low lit, a frame is going to be really hard unless you know exactly who the sniper is suspicious of. So he's gonna have to start getting some flirt progress. He does have 2 minutes though.
Yeah, and I see we've taken one more low light in that time. Wow, safety off on Monaters. Even though Monaters doesn't have the inspect, doesn't have any fingerprints either. Heck, barely even has the seduce. Yeah, there was a failed bug. I see.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that bug was partially seen, or he thought Sergio thought he saw it, because I don't see what else you would be suspicious of there.
No, that's got to be it, and that's my bad for missing that. Monatter's getting the fingerprint now, and unfortunately, because he's already a suspect, presumably, for the failed bug, Sergio's definitely going to be noticing this fingerprint, and I think if Monaters gets a second one, which he's going for with the briefcase, he is going to be immediately shot. Yeah, shot in the dress. Didn't even
Right in
want
the
to
dress.
wait.
Well, it was a good shot. Could have been done if she had the bug.
Yeah, let's take a look at this bug here for a moment. Just waiting in conversation. The arm comes out as Tex was passing. Yeah, that's what that safety off was for. Though the safety off is delayed from the bug, but definitely seen by Sergio. And so Sergio's brought it back up to 3-4 now, and Sergio can finish this off with a tie and fight back against those predictions that would have thought he would lose to Monaters. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, High Rise is a map where anything can happen. If you have all the soft tell missions on, you might get lucky, and an AI can just complete. And then if the sniper isn't very behaviorally sound in their judgments, they can just end up shooting a civilian.
Yeah, and I don't think Monaters is someone who does a ton of flirt pairing, so that's something you can maybe get away with here as Sergio, but of course it is a 3-5, and Monaters does have to use at least some behavioral tells. You know, we have General going to center statues here, and so Monaters is just going to have to watch General and decide if he can be finished. Now, was that a one cycle from General?
It did look like a one cycle. We'll have to see if Monaters was counting cycles, because usually if someone one cycles at center statues, you're not going to give them all three.
Yeah, definitely something you have to pay attention to. You don't want to misshoot General here and then realize that he couldn't have completed the inspects unless he hit 3 greens, and even then I don't know if it's possible. And so the Ambassador is entering this conversation here with us. We do have an opportunity to leave and take a bug on the way out if we feel we have enough cover. I don't know about Wheels giving us that cover, though. He is pretty short.
Yeah, Monaters unhighlighting the other twin after one of the twins went to center statues, so keeping that differential.
And here's a Banana Bread, the twin who's highlit, and General completing inspects gets low lit as well. That's not great for Sergio, but I see why he took this Banana Bread. The front conversation was really full, so it's hard to know which of those guests might have done it. Ideally, I guess you want both conversations full, but having one full is pretty good as well.
Yeah, that was a. I don't know about that banana bread. There's people who could have been done with statues. If you just get one of those into the conversation, give the sniper a really hard decision to make. But it did give him a fingerprint. It looks like, so maybe we can win off of that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with high rise is even if you do a bad banana bread, if one of the other people in that conversation goes and does statues or gets prints, they can still be shot. In fact, some of the most exciting moments that we've seen recently has been when, someone has fingerprint or inspect progress and they just need a BB and they do it with only like 3 people in conversation, and then one of the civilians gets shot anyway. So it's definitely not anywhere near over for Sergio, but the real test is going to happen when he goes for that second fingerprint, because he is one of only 2 highlights now. The other twin did get brought back up though.
Yeah, and we got Smallman and Wheels, both very suspicious characters. But it looks like we're highlighting twin, and twin is highlight.
Yeah, the good news is the seduce is done, so we don't have to worry about it. We just have to pick a good timing to go for that second fingerprint. The Ambassador is going to be leaving one at the green shelf, hopefully, but Sergio's hoping that the Ambassador doesn't walk away with that book right now, and it doesn't look like he's going to.
Yeah, ideally you'd like to get a fingerprint that's a little bit older and out of the sniper's memory, but maybe we can wait a couple seconds here and just see if we can jiggle that memory out of the sniper's brain and get in there for a fingerprint.
Ooh, interesting path. Didn't go right behind the ambassador, walked through the circle, which is sort of bad, but also sort of AI-like, and now we're going for the print. Is Monaters going to take the shot for this? If he's not able to do it, then Sergio will bring it back up to a tie, and Monaters will not get the win, and Monaters does not have the fingerprint count, doesn't shoot the high-lit seek, and Sergio gets the tie.
Wow, I love it. I love the play. I love walking right through the center of the conversation circle. Someone like Monaters is gonna know that that's kind of an AI-like thing to do. So it's just a great play by Sergio there to finish it out.
Yeah, I really love that path. And besides walking through the conversation circle, it was really smart to not take the path through right behind the ambassador there. So really great decision making from Sergio, and really happy to see him bring it back to a tie with that. Unfortunate for Monaters, who did have the 3-1 lead.
Yeah, wow, a tie. That was an unexpected result, but it was a crazy set with lots of spy aggression and some very fast games, but it ended up being a good set at the end.